Hello, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads, and welcome to the briefest of wrap-ups you will see from me, hopefully all year. This is my October wrap-up in which I read 4 books, which is really down on my average, not as many as I had been reading earlier in the year. It's been on a steady decline for quite some time actually, and yeah, I've just not been in the mood to read. I've talked about all of these books in vlogs, so if you like vlogs, please watch my vlogs. I mean, my vlogs have more information in and more up-to-date thoughts. But the first book I read was The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman of Pointless fame. And I gave this a 3 stars. I was really hyped for this. Sorry about the on and off noises outside my room. There's some work going on and I thought it'd be okay, but evidently not. But this is the only time I got to film at the moment, so we're going to persevere. Thanks guys. Basically, this is about a elderly people's home, and I think it's in Robertsbridge, which is quite near where I live, or based in the area, or it's like a complex where elderly people who, it's almost like assisted living, I think, maybe, or just they all live there, or it's like a retirement place. I can't really remember now. But a group of the pensioners create a Thursday murder club where they talk about murder cases from many a year ago, and the characters were really interesting, but I felt the plot was so slow moving, and yeah, I thought it was just a little bit too slow for my liking, and it really took off a lot of my enjoyment of the story. So I gave that 3 stars. I know some people loved it. The lovely Laura from Minx Laura 123 absolutely adored it. I think I'm pretty sure she gave it 5 stars. I've seen her talk about it, so it's obviously just wasn't for me. I don't know if I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and it took me such a long time to read. So and the next book I read was Emily Houghton's Before I Saw You, which I loved. This is coming out next January, I believe, and it is here. And it is about a woman and a man, and a woman has just woken up in the ICU and she is covered in Edgedo 3rd degree. I think she got 3rd degree burns on one side of her body, or 1st degree, which is the worst. She has really bad burns all over one side of her body, and she moves to a rehabilitation ward in which the man in the cubicle next to her has lost parts of his leg and is now like trying to be accustomed to walking with his prosthetics and the injury, and dealing with the post-traumatic stress of the injury, and it was really in depth about all of that, which I found really interesting. This won't let anyone see her in the rehab ward, and she doesn't say anything, and it's about their developing friendship from behind the curtain, and it's called Before I Saw You, and it's lovely, very twee, very sweet, but also very serious, very funny, lots going on there, and I very, very much enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun thing to. And then next was where I took a sharp turn away from my TBR, and I read Jumping to Confusions by Rettig, which is a book I read multiple times as a teenager. I was just feeling like wanting to read something that I was absolutely obsessed with as a teenager. This was a good, interesting, fun read to reflect on myself and my feelings as a teenager. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. There's a lot of fat shaming in here, but like self-inflicted fat shaming and internalized fat shaming, and there is fat shaming from outside points, but not so much. The main character, Kat, thinks she is the fat and plain person in her family. She disguises her size, which is thought to be a mid-size, definitely a mid-size on the smaller end. But I can understand as a teenager that makes you feel like the fattest person in the world, which as a teenager isn't seen to be a good thing, and I can understand how this really helped me understand about my feelings of myself when I was a teenager, about how I thought about myself, and it was interesting to reflect on it in that perspective, but it's not necessarily a body neutral or body positive perspective. There is some moments of body positivity, but there is also some like small weight loss moments where I think it attributes feeling better to having done more exercise and things like that. It's got its faults, it's also got its benefits, and I think basically the main character Kat gets a new best friend who she believes to be gay, and I think you can tell where that is going, and she's also in love with that English teacher. I think you can also tell where that's going. In those parts it was really fun and really grown up for what I remember it to be, for the age I was probably reading it at, and I did enjoy rereading it. It did transport me back, and it was interesting to sort of reflect on my teenage self and how I believe that I used to feel about myself and how I feel about myself now, and how I know I should feel about myself but I don't feel about myself. Very internalized feelings. It's interesting in that respect. Not one I'd say to anyone, just go pick it up. I don't even know if they print it anymore. I've had this edition for years, but I thought one I'd mention all the same, because sometimes it is good to just toss out your TBR, which I did last month, and wholeheartedly tossed that out, and just commit yourself to something you know that's going to make you fall into a rabbit hole of thoughts. I had a lot of thoughts and I thought it was good. It was very thought-provoking in that sense. Also, the last book I listened to was Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi, and this is the sequel to Children of Blood and Bone, which is a YA fantasy trilogy. It talks about the Orisha gods, and it is beautiful. Some of the descriptions are beautiful, the magic system is beautiful. It feels very immersive. I love the narrator, I love the style. Just in this sequel, some of the characters were fucking pissing me off. Some of their decisions, I could understand why they were feeling that way, but sometimes I just thought, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you explaining yourself in that way? Can you not see that these people are inclined to hate you? Yeah, I found it really stressful in that sense. I definitely did enjoy it, and I'm glad that I read it, and I will be continuing the series because it ended on a note of what the fuck. I'm going to want to continue straight away as soon as the next one's out. Definitely will continue to listen on audio. It's ones that I think I really benefit from the audio just because it is so, I just love it, so beautiful to hear. Some of the descriptions is lovely, and there's a love triangle. I don't think it's going to go the way I want it to go, and I'm not happy about that at all. So that's the book tea for now, and that's all I read. Hopefully at the end of November I'll be coming back to read. I just want you all to stay safe and be happy if possible, and if not, I hope things get better for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please chat to me in the comments, and if you want to see me soon, subscribe. Thanks, bye.